What's up, party people? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. Tonight, you guys, we have a special guest. He has his own channel. It's called Suboxone Wars, and his name is Rob, and he has been able to successfully taper off Suboxone. So he's going to come on tonight and share his story. But before I bring him on, I wanted to do some quick announcements and kind of let you guys know what's going on, what we got in store for the next couple days. So tomorrow we are going to be having our trivia competition. For those of you guys that did not know, my members and my patrons are going to be competing for a chance to win $50. Two people are going to win $50. So if you haven't joined and became a patron or a member and you want to, here is the link to do so. I'm going to drop it in the comments. And you can do that, patreon.com/real. Okay, there you go. Okay, there's that link. You can do that. It's going to be really fun. I am thinking that we will probably do trivia tomorrow afternoon, like after 4. And we will do it for about an hour before we all go to the Mara Zoom meeting. So that's another thing that I want to announce to everybody. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, there's going to be a Mara meeting, and I thought that we could all go to it together. So what we'll do is we'll have trivia from like 4:45 till 5:45, and then at 5:45 we will wrap it up over here, and then we'll go over to the Mara Zoom meeting together. So hopefully Merck will get the meeting ID and all that good stuff, and I will link it in tomorrow's trivia competition, and I will link it in the community tab. So bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. No, not your friend. In fact, let me go. Let me send Rob the link so he can join me, because he's probably going, what about me? What about me? This is my friend Rob. He has his own YouTube channel, like I was telling you guys. It's called Suboxone Wars. He is actually a moderator in the Suboxone subreddit. He's super nice guy, you guys. Very open-minded, non-judgmental. And, you know, I put up a video earlier today about 3 reasons why you're unsuccessful at tapering. Okay. And this could be for tapering completely off, or this could be just in tapering in general. And I wanted to put that video out because I know a lot of you guys are on the same journey that I'm on. And so I thought that we could start kind of like focusing on how I'm doing and how I'm getting down lower on my dose, how you guys can get down lower on your doses if that's what you're trying to do. So don't forget to like, subscribe. If you guys have the ability, share this video so that way we can help other people, you know, find Rob's channel and hear his story. And he's backstage, so I'm gonna bring him on. Are y'all ready? Okay, let's go. Hold on, Rob. Here I come.
Hey, Nicole. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad it's Friday.
Are you excited?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you a little nervous?
Nah.
Good. Okay.
I'm in the corporate world. I speak publicly all the time, so just a walk in the park.
I hear you. I hear you. So I told everybody that you have a channel called Suboxone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, you know, because yesterday we had Dr. B on, and then today I uploaded a video about why I feel like a lot of people are unsuccessful tapering. And I know that you have been able to get off Suboxone, right?
Correct.
So what I was thinking is, would you mind sharing a little bit with us about how you got into your addiction, and then how you got on Suboxone, and then how you were able to successfully taper?
I can do that.
Okay, cool.
Am I live and up and running?
You're live and up and running.
All right. I was trying to think of the best way to start this, and I think that it's important to say that when I was a kid, I mean, before drugs ever came into my life, I always felt like people say you're an addict before you touch your first drug, and I really, really believe that, and that I was always kind of out of place as a kid, never really fit into a group. Um, I always just felt so out of place in the world. And I started at a really young age. And, if you were to talk to my parents about that, they would tell you it's because I was raised by addicts, which is true. My mother is going to celebrate 20 years sober this year.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
my
awesome.
dad, he had a little slip up about 8 years ago. But other than that, he took about a year off, went back out. But other than that, he has 20 years as well. So my parents got sober when I was, a young teen. So there was quite the transition there. My first experience with drugs and alcohol, I mean, it's the same as everybody else's. I was, 14, 15, which is actually probably a little later than a lot of people start now. But I mean, I met people. I was in a rock band, and a couple guys smoked pot, and I tried pot, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, right from the very beginning, and I went from 0 to 60, from never seeing it before to using it every single day over the course of about a month, and I was hooked. I absolutely loved it. Um,
Hey, can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Uh, when you were growing up with your family, were your parents like actively using and you could like see them, or were they like doing it and just kind of like acting funny so you just knew that they were, you know?
No, when I was about 11 or 12, I would get home from school, and my parents had separated, and I was her. I used to fetch her glasses of wine all afternoon. No, they didn't. They didn't hide it too much. No, great. They didn't do anything illegal, as far as I know. And if they have, they never told me. They were
Yeah.
drinkers, but they didn't hide it. They drank way out in the open. I remember missing a lot of school because I couldn't get my mother out of bed in the morning. Um, but she knew
Yeah.
what she was doing. Like, when I was old enough to realize what she was doing was kind of when she kind of hit her wall and was at the end. I mean, she was sober by the time I was 14, so by the time I hit 14. Um, so I mean, but again, there was a lot of years of me growing up with that I didn't notice it. But they always seem to think that it caused me to go down the wrong path. Now I think that's a cop out. I screwed
Right.
up
I
the
know
way
what
I
you
screwed
mean.
up. I
But
think
it but it affected you though in when you were growing up because you had like you didn't have a lot of stability because they were kind of back and forth with their drinking. But once they were able to get sober, everything went back on track, right?
not exactly. No, see
Okay, you go ahead.
as,
I'm listening.
as again, my parents had split, and my mother got sober right around the time I started smoking pot and started getting into things. And it took, when you get sober, you have to concentrate 100% on yourself. And she was a single parent to a pain in the ass teenager. So I got away with everything. She could hardly pay attention to me. And that was kind of the time of my life where I really started taking off and, and getting into, I was drinking and smoking pot. And I remember that she was given Ambien out of rehab to help her sleep, because you don't sleep when you quit drinking. And that was my first experience with pharmaceutical drugs, because she wouldn't take them, and she would tell me that she wouldn't take them. So I took them myself, and I started taking them. Man, those things are absolutely dangerous. I mean, I was taking them at age 16 for
Yep.
fun. I would get up in the morning and take one and see how long I could stay awake. It was kind of just my first experience with pharmaceuticals, and I'm at the age of 35, and I can tell you without a doubt those were the things that got me the most. Um, but I barely graduated high school, and I pretty much majored in weed, and until I met my wife. I met my wife at age 20, and she was the best influence of my entire life, and she actually convinced me to go back to college, and I got into college, and I ended up graduating. Anyways, I'm kind of skipping a lot of steps here because I had a stretch there where things weren't that bad. Sure, I was smoking a lot of pot. I was drinking a little bit, but I was going to school full time and I graduated with honors and I got a degree in accounting and everything was great.
Oh, wow.
I can honestly say that things took, and this is a terrible thing to say, but I'm trying to be honest with you. My life took a downward spiral right after my first child was born. I was 28 years old. And I just absolutely lost it. We had just bought our first house. I was about a year out of college. I was working full time. I was married to the love of my life, and I just had this romantic idea of everything was just going to work out so great. We're going to have our first kid, and our life is just going to be perfect. No, that's not
Scary.
how kids work. I my kid was born, and I struggled a lot with it. As far as I was concerned, there was this little 8 pound demon being who stole my wife away from me and won't let us sleep. And I fell into this horrible depression after my first child was born, which is when I started drinking. Now, like I said, my parents were both alcoholics, but I never drank heavily. And I went to East Carolina University. I don't know if anybody's aware of that, but that is one of the most notorious drinking schools in the country. But I was fine. I didn't need to. I was never a big drinker until that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I drank heavily for about 4 to 5 years. That's all it took for me, between about the age of 28 and 32 or 33, where I would go through a bottle of bourbon every night. And it was, I'm shocked I never got fired. I showed up hungover as hell every day, and somehow I didn't. And part of this time, or towards the end of this time, we actually moved to San Antonio, Texas for a job.
Uh-huh.
And when we got down there is when I realized how bad it was going. And I decided that I wanted to quit drinking. I came clean to my parents and told them what had happened. They were extremely supportive. And I told them I was going to quit drinking. And they told me to be really careful because it can be really dangerous to cut off drinking. And I said, don't worry about it. I'm going out of town on a business trip. I get to stay in a hotel. I get to go to work in an office, but then I get to go and just kind of hang out at a hotel and I can sweat it out and I'll be fine. So,
Mm.
yeah, that was another bad idea. I'm there on a Monday morning, and my last drink was Saturday night. And I started feeling really, really weird. I started feeling really dizzy. I was having really bad vertigo. I couldn't concentrate on anything. I couldn't eat. I hadn't slept in about 36 hours. Again, I thought I was being sick. I thought I was just feeling sick. I thought I had the flu or something like that. So I told the guy, my boss at the offsite place, I was like, I'm feeling sick. I'm going to go to urgent care. So I show up at urgent care, and then for some reason it didn't occur to me until then that I might be going through detox.
Right.
Until I show up and I told him, I said, oh, by the way, I used to drink real heavily and then I quit about 36 hours ago. Could this be the cause? And they said, I don't know. So they took me in the back and they did my vitals. My blood pressure was 180 over 144. And the nurse who took it couldn't even say it out loud. She took it, she looked at me, and she walked away. A doctor shows up and he said the words I'll remember for the rest of my life. He said, you are too sick to be here. You need to get to the ER right away. You could have a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
I was 32. I was 32 years old. So anyways, I end up at the ER. They pump me full of all this medication. I'm scared to death. I end up doing FaceTime with my family saying, I'm scared I'm going to die. And it was horrible. But the good thing is I hadn't had a drink since. That was about 3 years ago. So
Isn't that crazy how sometimes it's just like that one situation is just enough, and you're like, I'm never doing that again.
well, they talk about, you hear rock bottom a lot in the programs, and I almost died, and the only way to get any further down than that is to actually die. So
Yeah.
But anyways, that was great. That was a good thing for me overall because I got really into AA. When I got back home to Texas, I found a really great AA group. And and I stayed dry. I stayed completely sober off of everything for several months, until we got ready to move back to North Carolina. So I ended up getting a job back here. We wanted to get back home, because I was born and raised in North Carolina, and I found a job where I could get back here. And when we were packing up our house, I hurt my back, which is for a really bad, painful injury for an addict. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this was right before the whole opioid epidemic thing started. So people were still giving out this medication.
Yeah.
So I go to my doctor down in Texas right before we leave, and he gives me a huge bottle of tramadol. And then when I get here, I get more, and then I start getting hydrocodones and all kinds of stuff. And then I got sent to an orthopedic, and I started getting on gabapentin, which I know me and you have talked about a little bit. All these medications, they're all abusable, and I didn't last a minute. From the second they handed them to me, I was taking more than I should have. I was
Yeah.
going through a bottle of 30 tramadol in about 3 days. I was going through a bottle of 270 gabapentin in about 5 days. um, so this went on for about 6 months. And then I thought I had found the miracle cure. I had read on some kind of message board about kratom. And I'm not trying to get controversial here. I understand
Oh,
people's
no.
opinions on kratom, but for me, it was the exact same thing.
Just share your experience. You're
Right.
fine. Because there's some people that may have had the same experience as you. So it's okay. Just share what it was like. What happened?
I it was just like anything else, just like any other pill I took. I took it. I liked it. The second time I took it, I didn't like it as much, so I took more, and then I took more, and then I took more, until I was spending about 30 to 40 bucks a day, taking about 60 grams of kratom a day.
How
Just
are you taking it? Did you have to toss and wash it, or were you
No,
taking it?
I was taking capsules. I couldn't do the toss and wash. That
So
stuff
how
tastes.
many capsules is that at a time?
I was maybe 40 to 50 every time I dose. I do it twice a day.
Damn.
No, it was awful. It was awful. And that stuff, I mean, it makes you feel good for like an hour, and then it makes you feel like crap for about 4 or 5 until you can take more. It also doesn't let you sleep very much. That was probably the low point of my entire addictive life. Is I was on that for a few months, about 4 or 5 months, before while every day, just, I was hemorrhaging money. I was feeling horrible all day. I wasn't sleeping. That was my low point. And I was still getting my hands on some of the prescriptions, but the problem is I would go through them so quickly. I needed something to hold me over until I could get them again. So I would take prescription medication for 4 or 5 days and then kratom for the rest of the month. And this
Oh
went
yeah.
on until about December of 2017 is when I said, I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm on an absolute downward spiral, and something's got to happen here. So I started calling around to treatment centers because I didn't know what to do. I was on a variety of different medications. I didn't have one specific drug of choice other than, say, kratom. It was pretty much kratom and whatever I could get my hands on.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't know where I belonged. I didn't know if I needed to detox. I didn't know if I just need to go to meetings. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I started calling around, and I came up with, I went to Lifeline Treatment Center, which I don't even think exists anymore here in town. And I met a Suboxone doctor, and he suggested I go on Suboxone. Now, I got to be perfectly honest with you here. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
First started taking it. I didn't know it was an opioid. He didn't really explain it all that well. He just said it's something that you could be on while you get your life together, and then you can slowly transition off of it. So I was like, fine, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
So it was like early December 2017. I got my prescription. I was supposed to take 6 milligrams a day. I said, do you want me to take them all at once, or do you want me to split them up? He said, that's your choice. Some people like to take them all at once. Some people like to split it up. Now, me being an addict, I thought, I'm going to take them all at once. Of
Right.
course. So I took 6 milligrams of Suboxone, or Subutex, and I got high as a kite.
Yeah.
I
I
got
mean,
high as a kite. I cannot believe that they gave me this stuff. And I decided at that point I'm really ready to be honest about this, about everything. So I called the doctor the next day. I said, that stuff got me high as a kite. And he said, take it today, it probably won't. And then take it tomorrow, it definitely won't. It's kind of a common like first step for Suboxone. And he was absolutely right. But I was on Suboxone, and I'm going to kind of, skip over a few steps here. From December 2017 until March of this year, or 2018, excuse me, until March of this, about 15 months. And in that time period while I was on Suboxone, I started on 6 milligrams. I dropped down to 4 within like 2 or 3 months. And then I stayed at 4 for pretty much the rest of the time until I started a taper. And I'll get into that in a minute. In that time period, I got everything right with my job. Obviously, when things were going terrible, I was screwing up at my job. My marriage wasn't good. I wasn't being a good enough father. I was able to turn all that stuff around because he was right. The Suboxone, it didn't get me high except for that first time.
right.
But I never craved anything while I was on it.
Right.
And I felt normal, and it was really odd. It was the first time I felt normal in God knows how long.
Yeah.
But I was always worried. Now, I really wouldn't say people should necessarily feel this way. When I look back on it, I realized I shouldn't have felt this way. But especially when I was on it for about 6 months or maybe a little longer, I was scared because at that point I knew it was an opioid.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was going to be difficult to get off of, and it scared me. And I know that's a pretty common fear in that, like people think, how the hell am I supposed to get off of this? What happens if I can't take it? What if I lose my insurance? What if, the pharmacy doesn't have any? All these kind of fears because you feel like you're trapped on this stuff. But it was all an irrational fear, in my opinion, honestly. I'm glad I had it because it did eventually help me get off of it. But those aren't the things you need to be worrying about when you're on Suboxone. You need to be worrying about getting your life together, your relationships in line, getting a good support system, things like that. But anyways, it was at the beginning of this year when I really decided I wanted to get off of it. And I wanted to get off for the right reasons. It wasn't because I was scared to be on it. It was because the things that I had to get right in my life, I had gotten right. My
Right.
marriage was great. I had a great relationship with my kids, with the rest of my family. I was doing really well at my job. I felt comfortable in my own skin again. I didn't even really think about using the drugs I used to use. It was I didn't think about it anymore. And to be honest, I didn't think about using the Suboxone. It was just something I took every day on out of habit.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it had been a long time since I had, really seeked out that buzz because I hadn't had a buzz. I hadn't needed a buzz in over a year.
Yeah.
So I was ready. Now, when I talk about the taper and eventually jumping off, I did it twice. And I want to talk about both. I did it wrong, and then I did it right.
Can
Uh,
I? One of the girls has a question for you. She
yeah,
says, let me get it right here because I asked them. I told them if they had any questions to let me know.
oh, please
Um,
do.
did you wait any time in between going from kratom to Suboxone? And if you didn't, did it send you into precipitated withdrawal?
No, I didn't wait any. I waited less than a day. Kratom gets out of your system really fast. It's and plus Kratom is not. It's not like taking a Percocet in that it's not. I don't think it's like the same thing. I've never heard of anybody going into precipitated withdrawal with Kratom. I work on the Reddit subreddit for Suboxone, and people ask that question all the time, and I've never heard anybody actually going through that.
Right, where they're taking kratom and then they take Suboxone. I haven't
Right.
either, but and that's what I was telling everybody. I said he works on the subreddit for Suboxone, so if y'all are ever in there, say hi.
I'm Blackbeard0531. I'm one of the mods, so please feel free to say hi. So The first time I did it wrong, and I thought I was doing it right, but I made a couple of mistakes. So I'm going to go through the process. I'm going to tell you a couple of the mistakes I made.
Okay.
First thing I did was I immediately jumped to 2 milligrams, and I didn't stay on it very long. And then I did a lot of research. I talked to a lot of people on the subreddit actually, and they were telling me that once you drop below 2 milligrams, you got to go really slow, because that's 2 milligrams is kind of a ceiling effect for a lot of people. And that if you go below it, you're going to definitely feel it. So I went to like 1 3/4, then 1.5, and then 1 1/4. And I stayed on the dose for about 3 or 4 days every time, which is too fast. It's too short of an amount of time. And I dropped down. I ended up getting down to 0.5 milligram. I was on it for about 2 days, and then I stopped. My last dose was February 20th. This is just the first jump.
Okay.
It was February 21st of this year. I took 0.5 milligram at about 9 o'clock in the morning. I had taken the next week completely off of work. I was ready to detox. I was pumped up. I was feeling really good. I actually made my first video the day after, on the 22nd. The first video on my channel was the day after I jumped the first time. And I was feeling really good. I was about 36 hours in. I felt great. It was about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night on the 22nd when the withdrawal feeling hit me. Anybody who's ever quit opioids can tell you what it's almost impossible to describe this feeling. People refer to it as restless legs. It's not restless legs. It's like restless body. It feels like somebody is pumping electricity into your veins. You cannot sit still. You are sweating. You're exhausted. You're tired. I was on Klonidine. I took a Klonidine to help me sleep. So I was tired, but it wasn't taking the symptoms away.
Oh, wow.
And from about 9:30, 10 o'clock till about 11:30, I'm tossing and turning, and I'm rolled up in a ball of sweat on my bed. When I just cracked, I said, I can't do this. I did something wrong. It's not supposed to be this bad. Which leads me to another mistake I made. I kept 2 0.5 milligram emergency doses. I took one of them, waited 20 minutes, didn't feel any better. I took the other one and then fell asleep, and I don't remember exactly when I fell asleep. That's how I spent my 35th birthday of this year.
Oh,
It
man.
was one of the worst days of my entire life. I woke up feeling just terrible about myself, that I couldn't even last 2 days. I felt awful. It was Sunday, so I couldn't call my doctor anyways. I had an appointment with him that Monday, the next day, which was good. But I was done. I woke up that morning thinking I'm never getting off of this medication, and that's the mood I was in. And I thought, this stuff is too hard to get off of. I can't feel that way. And the bad thing about Suboxone is, or one of the things is withdrawal can last a week. Like the acute stages. And I thought, I couldn't do that for a day. You telling me I have to do that for a week? It's impossible. No, I give up. So I had my appointment Monday morning. It was a virtual appointment with my doctor, and I was planning on saying I'm done, or I'm going to take this for the rest of my life. Let's give me my prescription and tell me what I have to do. But I told him the story, and he almost kind of grinned at me a little bit and laughed. And he's like, Rob, you did that completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, if you would have talked, because I didn't work with him this whole time. I was doing this behind his back.
Right.
And he said, you did that completely wrong. And if you would have just told me, we could have worked together, and I could have made it 100 times easier for you.
Yeah, that's all we have to do is be honest and not be here's the thing, like I was saying earlier, I think a lot of the times, like, we get afraid to tell our doctors, or maybe we think that they're not going to want us to taper, because I've heard people say that their doctors are like, no, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I've never had that experience. My doctor's like, whenever you're ready, let me know. And I'm like, okay, so
The
that's the
right
best
doctor is
thing.
so important, and I had a great doctor. And
we're very fortunate, is from what
absolutely.
I'm hearing.
Oh, I've heard horror stories, and I believe them too. But anyways, his plan was this. He said, look, Rob, you're at a really low dose right now. This is, you just work with me and let's take about a month and let's stretch that dose out a little bit. He said, you were on a 0.5 milligram for 2 days. That pretty much means you never dropped that low because your body never adjusted to it. So he said, let's do this. Let's keep you on a 0.5 milligram, and then let's start skipping days. You know, stay on it for about a week or two, and then get comfortable, and then start skipping days. Now, I took it a step further than that, where I dropped down to a 0.25 milligram, but I never actually skipped days. Which again, if I had it, I wanted to take it. It was just, you know, tapering takes a lot of self-control, and I feel like I showed some, but I couldn't do the whole skipping days thing. So anyways,
It
I
really
dropped
does.
out.
It really does.
It seems so difficult to say, hey, addict, you see this? Don't take all of it, just take some of it.
Right.
But it's, you know, but again, by this time I'm so ready. Or, you know, before the screw up, I was just so determined that tapering was never an issue for me. You have to want it really, really badly. But anyways, I dropped down to about a 0.25. I would actually alternate. I'd take a 0.5 milligram one day, a 0.25 the next day, go back and forth. Eventually I was just on a 0.25 milligram. And then I told the doctor, I said, I want to stop now. And the reason I wanted to stop then is I had found out that my niece had a brain tumor.
Oh man.
And she was having surgery on, I think it was March the 13th or 14th. And I told her, I said, I'm going to stop taking Suboxone on the day of your surgery, and we're going to battle through this together. And it was just a little extra thing for me, is something to keep me honest, something to keep me motivated.
Yeah.
And it worked. But anyways, I told the doctor, I said, look, I'm going to stop on this day. I haven't skipped days, but I did lower my dose again. He said, okay, let me help you out. So he gave me a little bit. He said, let me give you some helper meds, something else I didn't have, which helped me this time. I got real low dose gabapentin, and the Klonidine. And I was ready to roll. And now I didn't time it this way, but it just so happened that my first week off of the medication was the first week of the quarantine.
Oh wow.
So I happened to not have to go to. I was planning on working through it, but I don't know if it just turned out that way. So I got to work from home, which made it a lot easier. So I took my last dose on Sunday. I think it was the 15th of March at about 1:30 p.m. I took a 0.25 milligram, and I was ready. I was like, whatever happens, I don't care if I don't sleep for a week. I'm going to do this. I tapered low. I had my doctor's support. He was confident that I could do it. I was going to talk to him on the phone every day. I was open with my family about what I was doing. My wife was extremely supportive. So I was ready to go. So let me take you through a day to day here. I know people like to hear what to expect day to day. And
Yeah.
I still remember this like it was yesterday. Again, took my last dose Sunday. Monday, didn't feel a thing. Completely normal day. With the exception of Monday night. The gabapentin, though, you need to be careful with gabapentin because it can be extremely habit forming, but I was taking small doses. And that was the one thing that I had that I didn't have the first time. And it made all the difference in the world. I took 800 milligrams once a day. I split it up, took 2 400s, took one in the morning and one at night. And, or at least I thought it took it all away. Because again, Monday night, which was when I cracked the first time.
Right.
I was feeling a little twitchy, but I slept. I got 6-7 hours of sleep that night. Couldn't believe it. Woke up Tuesday morning thinking this is going to be a snap, because that's when I cracked last time. So obviously if I can make it through Monday night, the 36-hour mark, the rest of this is going to be a snap. No, not the case. 48 hours in is when it hit me. It was when it really started. And you got to remember this about Suboxone, is that it has like a 32-hour half-life.
Yeah.
So if you take a quarter milligram, you still have 0.12 milligrams 36 hours later. It's still in your system. Not to mention the fact that if you take it every day, it builds up in your system, because by the time you're taking another dose, you haven't worn off the first dose.
Right.
So the stuff builds up in your system over time. So anybody who's listening, who's thinking about getting off of the medication, it's not going to hit you in 24 hours. Hell, it might not hit you in 48 hours, depending on how much you were taking.
I've heard some people that don't start feeling it until like 4 or 5 days in.
Right. I mean, again, if you taper low, you'll feel it earlier than that because there's a lot less in your system. I started really feeling it around 48 hours, and day 5 and 6 were the worst for me. You can pretty much split up Suboxone withdrawal into 2 categories. There's daytime, and then there's nighttime. Let's start with the positive. Let's start with the daytime. You think when you're getting off of opioids, you have this, thought of somebody who's just caked in sweat and rolled up in a ball and vomiting and all this kind of crap. No, it's nothing like that. If you taper low, it won't be anything like that. I didn't lose my appetite at all. On the contrary, I ate like a damn horse. And I was talking to my doctor about that. He says, yeah, that's a good thing. If you want food, eat it, because it's boosting your dopamine for you. The symptoms that I felt the worst during the day were leg aches and the creepy crawlies. You feel like there's bugs crawling on your skin. I mean, it's not that's kind of exaggerated, but you don't feel comfortable. It's like you want to sit. You don't want to sit still, but you're exhausted. And it's the best thing to do for both of those things is walk. I walked 5-6 miles a day every single day.
I'm going to pour Nate some chocolate milk. Keep on talking.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
you're in charge.
Walking made all the difference in the world. My legs hurt like hell. And it seems kind of contrary to say, you're sitting there and your legs are hurting and you feel like you have back pain. You don't want to walk. Hell, you don't want to stand up. But if you get up and you walk like a half mile to a mile, it goes away. Now, it comes back pretty quickly because, you're in withdrawn. And, it's not just going to stay away. But I would go on, 7-8 walks a day. I'd look and I'd have 15,000, 20,000 steps a day, especially for that first week. Everybody, it's pretty common to get stomach issues as well. For those of you on Suboxone, you know that it causes pretty bad constipation.
Yeah.
And when you stop, that goes away really, really fast. You hear people talk about loperamide or Imodium. So, and you hear people say it's great. You hear people say don't take it. I'm going to give you my opinion on it. Absolutely take it, but get the liquid Imodium. Don't get the little tablets, because that's what people use and they take way too much of it and it screws up your recovery. You get the liquid, just take a normal adult dose whenever you get real bad diarrhea. Completely took it away. I honestly had to take it 3 times in the whole week, and it was barely a symptom for me.
How have you been since you've been off of it? Have you had any like cravings to go out and get high, or like have you like anything like that?
Yeah, it happens, and I didn't even really get cravings until a few weeks into it. I don't know. I guess I was just so pumped up and determined to get through it that I didn't really have a lot of cravings at first. I do now. I do now. I would be lying if I said I wouldn't have them now.
Right.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the lockdown, and I'm so tired of being in my apartment. And I can't go to meetings, and I really wish I could go to NA meetings, and I haven't been to a single one.
We're doing Zoom. Everybody's doing Zoom meetings. Why haven't you been doing Zoom?
I don't like Zoom meetings. They seem so impersonal.
You should come and hang out with Merck. Merck's been doing Zoom meetings, and they're fun. Like we have fun.
You shoot me a link, and I'll come to the next one. All right.
Okay.
So Okay, so we described the daytime. Now let's talk about the nighttime, because yeah, stopping Suboxone or any opiate at night is a nightmare, and there's just no way around it.
Yeah.
For everybody listening, and I'm not trying to make anybody nervous. However, I wasn't expecting it the first time around. I wasn't expecting it to be that bad. It caught me off guard, and I cracked immediately. The second time around, I knew what to expect, and I was able to just kind of tolerate it. There's really no magical fix to this. And I remember the night I described where I cracked, my birthday. From Tuesday probably through Saturday or Sunday, I felt the exact same way every night. There's just no getting away from it. I like to say that, I know I say this on the subreddit a lot, but we all have a debt to pay. We all spent years abusing our bodies with drugs, and then we found this fantastic medication that takes all of our drug cravings away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we've had it easy ish to a point where we had this medication that we're able to get away from the hard drugs with little to no discomfort at all. Well, if you want to get off of everything completely, there's a debt that has to be paid, and
Yeah.
you pay it through trying to sleep through detox. Don't even try to sleep. If you don't feel like you can sleep, don't sit up, read. Just you'll be shocked of how well you can function on an hour or two of sleep a night. Anybody who's ever gotten off of Suboxone, nobody gets more than that. However, it does go away. It's not. It's worth it too. It's worth it. I went through this for a good 8 or 9 days, and it's totally worth it. It's just great that I don't have to pay for the program anymore. It's great that I don't have to worry about where my next thing of medication's coming from. Do I have enough if I'm going to go out of town? What if there's a shortage? All that kind of stuff. It's a huge weight lifted off your shoulders when you are eventually ready to get off of this.
Yeah.
And I'm coming up on 2 months, and I feel fantastic.
And no, you feel good. Because here's the thing. This is the problem I'm having. I see so many people that make videos and they're 30, 60 days out, and they're just like saying how miserable they are and how it's just like they're just miserable. And so I'm like, am I going to be miserable? Like, I hope I'm not going to be miserable,
I still have bad days. And I'm guessing you're a lot more motivated to make a video when you have something bad to say than whether if it's a good day. Pause is a real thing. Yeah, anhedonia has been a terrible symptom of mine, and it still goes on. It's not every day. For a while it was, but everything that you used to like to do, you don't want to do anymore. You have the inability to feel pleasure. However, pause is what you make of it. Okay. Pause is something when you're talking about the physical acute detox, there's not a whole lot you can do. There's helper meds. You can walk, again, with the nighttime stuff, there's nothing you can do. It's just something you got to get through. Pause is a different story. Pause. There's everything you can do about that. It's all about your attitude. It's all about forcing yourself to get off your ass and go and do something. I got a great story to tell here. So this was about 2.5 weeks ago, and I was feeling, sorry if you hear my cat meowing in the background. I accidentally locked him in here with me. So
I don't hear him. That's okay.
So this was a Sunday night, and the whole weekend I felt awful. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to play with my kids. I pretty much got up, fed the kids, fed myself, watched TV. That's all I did for 2 days. I felt I didn't want to do anything, kind of the way you see people in those videos. You just feel down and depressed. It just so happened it was my dad's birthday that day. And obviously we couldn't go see him because everybody's in quarantine. But it was about 9 o'clock that night. And I thought to myself, I talked to my dad for like 10 minutes today on his birthday. He's probably feeling like he wants to see more of us. So I'm going to call him and we're going to play some poker online. Yeah, one of the things me and him do, we go on to Poker Stars and we play poker a lot. Something I used to love to do, something that he had been asking me to do, but I didn't want to because I didn't want to do anything. So I told myself, I'm going to call him. We're going to play cards. It's his birthday. I don't care if you don't want to do it. You're going to do it because you're a good son. So I call him and we start playing. We play till after midnight. We play like 3 tournaments. We're laughing. We're talking about this and that, the quarantine. We're talking about my kids. I got off the phone with him at like 12:30, and it was the most fun I had by far in the whole process. I felt great, and it was just because I didn't want to, but I forced myself to do it because it was his birthday, but it was the best decision I ever made. And it just goes to show you that if you just try, even if you don't feel like you want to do something, if you don't feel like going and working out or reading a book or going and doing whatever it is you like to do, force yourself to do it. You'll be surprised at how well it works. And ever since then, I've been doing that.
Do it. Just do it. It's like it's the same way. Even if let's say I'm still on Suboxone, but there's still times where like I don't want to come and do a meeting, and I make myself come on here and do it, and then afterward I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm. There's a saying in AA that the day where you really, really don't want to go to a meeting is the day you need one the most.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, that's pretty much my story. I don't think I took up all the time, but
you did pretty good.
I'm going to leave with this, or the last thing I'm going to say is, don't stop taking Suboxone until you're ready. And by ready, I mean, you really, really have to want to stop. If you don't want to stop, then don't stop. There's no reason to stop. You should never feel forced to stop. But if you're in a position, I know a lot of people are, because especially in the subreddit, I'm contacted daily of people saying, people are always reaching out, I want to stop taking this medication. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to. It is possible, but don't be afraid to share with your doctor that you want to get off. And if your doctor says they don't want you to get off, then find yourself a new doctor. Right. I know there are some bad doctors out there, but my doctor, I couldn't have quit without him. I absolutely could not have stopped without him. He is a godsend. And for those of you who want to get off, it is possible to get off. It's worth it to get off if you really want to. I feel free, and it's awesome.
That's what I think it's really all about, is that, I feel like a lot of the times people feel like they have to get off, or they feel shamed or judged, and then they make a rash decision and they jump off real quickly. It's like, take your time, build a foundation, get your life together like you did, like utilize the medication for what it's there for.
Absolutely.
It's there for you to use it to lean on. Lean on the medication while you get your shit together. And then once you get your shit together, if you are so inclined and you want to get off, then do the damn thing. But make it your decision. Don't let it be something that you're doing because you feel pressured, or you feel embarrassed, or you feel shame. And there was, 4 years ago, there wasn't any groups like this where you could come in and say, I'm on Suboxone, and, people aren't judging me and people are welcoming you. And now there's all kinds of different places where there's support for people like us. And so we've come a long way, man. Because I remember when I first started sharing my story, it was like, you would have thought I was crazy for saying I was on Suboxone in the open,
And it doesn't help that there's so many idiots out there posting stupid crap about it. A couple of false statements that you're going to read a lot of. Number one is that if you're on Suboxone, you're not in recovery. That is just an absolute flat out lie. As somebody who has been in active addiction and been on Suboxone, they're nothing alike. It's like night and day. When you're on Suboxone, you're not getting high. You're not chasing anything. It's like putting your addiction on hold is the best way for me to describe it. It makes it go away temporarily. Now, I will say that when I did stop, it feels like it came back a little bit. not that, you know, the usage, but, you know, like the cravings I used to have come
Right.
back. But it's great though. I mean, I don't know why everybody wouldn't jump on the idea of, you know, you're sitting there shooting heroin. We can put this on hold for you while you get your shit together, and then you can slowly fix the problems as time goes on. And the other false statement that just drove me crazy, I'm pretty sure me and you talked about this. It made me so angry, was people say getting off of Suboxone is a death sentence.
I
You ever
hate
heard
that.
somebody say that?
Yeah. I saw
It's,
that subreddit one time and I was like, what?
and I know that there's a lot of people out there, they'll say things like getting off Suboxone is harder than getting off of heroin. No, it's not. You ever seen somebody get off of heroin?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And
Holy
I've
shit.
also, it's like I think people say that because they made it hard on themselves. They didn't go to their doctor. Maybe they were buying Suboxone off the street. Maybe they were like, fuck it, I'm just jumping off at 20 milligrams. It's like, one thing I found with a lot of addicts, and I mean, I was like this too, is like we tell the story to serve ourselves, and
Oh
so it's
yeah.
really important to tell the whole story when you're talking about things like Suboxone. You know, you can't just say Suboxone was the hardest thing; it almost killed me, and then you left out the part that you were shooting it up and selling dope in the back bedroom or whatever, you know, like you left out the whole part of why that was happening.
If anybody's interested, if I can prove that it's not harder to get off of than heroin. If anybody's interested, on my YouTube page, I have a video where it's me on the 6th day of my detox, which was the hardest day. And you tell me if I look like I'm coming off of heroin. I don't. I mean, I don't look happy, but I mean, I'm not sitting there in a ball of sweat. I mean, I was sitting out of my car, for Christ's sake. I mean, I just got back from the store. I mean, yeah, I went to the store.
I'm
So,
putting your channel in the comment section so everybody can go subscribe to your
oh,
channel.
thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
But this is, I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate this. This is so important. In people's recoveries. You know, it was channels like this that got me through a lot of what I did. I did a lot of research. I spent a lot of time on YouTube, watching videos on people who were on Suboxone or planning to taper down off Suboxone. And then when I jumped off, people making videos about what day they were on, things that you can expect in the future. I mean, it just helps so much. If anything, it just makes you realize you're not alone.
Yeah, totally. I'm proud of you, man. I think you kicked ass. I mean, I pray every day that I can get to that point and be 60 days and come on my channel and say, I did it, guys. I'm 60 days off Suboxone. Not because I'm ashamed to be on Suboxone or anything like that. Just because, like you said, like I've gotten to this point in my recovery where I want to do it. I think I can do it on my own now. I think I can stand on my feet without it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
are you and you got all the support in the world. I know you've got a lot of support on your channel, and you know I'll help you out. You got my number. You call me anytime you want.
we have a whole army over here on Real Talk Recovery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're everywhere too. Everywhere I go, I see somebody from the channel and they're like, Nicole, what's up? It's so cool, man. I love the community of people that we have. It literally makes my heart so happy. It really, really does.
Well, this is the backbone of recovery. I mean, this is what the 12-step programs talk about. People don't really like the 12-step programs a lot because they talk about, God and the steps and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, all that's important. I'm a big 12-step guy. But the backbone is for addicts to help other addicts who are still suffering. I mean, that is the backbone of any recovery program. And, it's things like this. It's the subreddit as well that make it are helping me in my recovery because obviously I can't go to meetings right now, but, being able to anybody that I can help helps me twice as much as I help them. It really is.
It's amazing. It's the best feeling in the world. I'm so proud of you, man. And what I want to do is like a couple months from now, come back on the channel and update us how you're feeling and how you're doing and all that good stuff.
Anytime.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to come share your story. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. You guys have a good one.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
So there you go, you guys. Successful Suboxone taper. You know, I haven't gotten down off my Suboxone yet. I'm on 2 milligrams, and so I can't share with you about the success. But I can bring people on who can share with you and show you that they've been able to do it. And so we're going to have many more guests on. We're going to have guests that are still on maintenance. We're going to have guests that are not on maintenance. We're going to have guests that are on methadone. We're going to have guests that are not on methadone. If any of you guys want to come share your story, all you got to do is message me and let me know, and I'll get you on the channel.
Mom, show them this.
Oh, and Nate wants to show y'all his new toy,
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
I want to get a cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger?
We
We just had noodles from Chinese.
Well, can I want to go to Burger King and get.
Pause for a second. Let me talk to everybody. I'm going to check my Instagram DMs. One addict helping another. That's exactly what we do here, you guys. It's all of us supporting each other. The therapeutic value of one addict and then helping another addict is without parallel. It is by far the best thing that you can do is talk to somebody else that's been through what you've been through, you know, and we can all do this together. That's the beautiful thing about this, is that we do not have to recover alone, you guys. We can do this together. So let's go ahead and wrap this up real quick, but I want to say hi to everybody. I want you guys to know that I see all of y'all in the chat, and let's go ahead. Tomorrow at 4:45 p.m. we are going to do trivia for patrons and members. So if you're somebody who wants to join and become a patron, here's the link. If you want to become a member, you just click the join button beside my YouTube channel name. And tomorrow, 4:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going live, patron and members. It's a showdown, trivia. All the questions are in our members and patron only chat. So if you haven't been able to watch the lives this week and you want to get caught up on what the questions are going to be, go check the patron and the members chat. They're all there with the answers and the questions. Okay, 2 people are going to win $50 a piece, so that's $100 total. 50-50. Okay. It's going to be fun. And this money is coming out of my pocket. So, you know, y'all better have a good time, because I'm putting out $100. I don't want to hear no bitching. We're going to have a good time, though. It's going to be fun. It'll be fun. And then what we're going to do after that, you guys, we are going to, after we do patron and members only trivia, then we're going to do a giveaway for the whole channel. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have a guy's gift and a girl's gift. So that way, whoever wins, 2 people will win the giveaway. Now, the way the giveaway is going to work is you're going to need to follow me on Instagram at Real Talk Recovery, because I think that's where I'll probably have to do the giveaway at. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out, though. But if you haven't followed me on Instagram and you have an Instagram, go follow Real Talk Recovery, because what I'm doing over there on Instagram is I am doing Instagram live videos now. I'm going to, instead of doing them here on my channel at night, I'm going to do Instagram live meditations, okay? About 9:45 p.m. Central, we'll go live over on Instagram. We'll do a just for the day, just for today, or a 10-step inventory, some kind of meditation together. Y'all know he wants y'all to see him, so I'm going to go ahead and let him get his fame. Okay, boy. Where you at? Where you at, Bubba?
I'm Chewbacca now.
He wants to show off for y'all. So we'll figure out how to do it though, you guys. It'll be fair no matter what. You guys know, if you don't have Instagram, don't worry, we'll figure it out. But if you do have Instagram, head over there, follow your old,
subscribe because Mom always wants
follow your girl on the Real Talk Recovery Instagram. My personal Instagram is Shadow Band, y'all. Chateau Band. Can you believe that? It's like no matter what I do, I cannot go past a certain amount of people on that on my other personal Instagram. So we're just doing away with that, and we're going to do Real Talk Recovery. So let me go ahead and show y'all. Here's the Real Talk Recovery Instagram. Just bada bing, bada boom. Okay. I see Axel. Axel, y'all, welcome Axel to the chat. I see you, baby. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Yeah, Nancy, I'm trying to get to, well, here's the thing. I do so many live streams over here on my channel that what I feel like happens is you guys just get overwhelmed. Like there's just so many videos. Y'all have to catch up, right? And so I was like, you know what? Screw that. I've got to start doing live streams on different platforms. So that's why I'm going to do the meditations on Instagram and our regular meetings here on this channel. So, hey, Jenna. Let me go ahead and shout out everybody that's in the comments because I see y'all. I got Daniel, Jenna, Nancy. Hey, Freya. Freya, I'm so excited, girl. You know I got your back no matter what. I got my girl, Bo. I got Jackie. What's up, girl? Cindy's Journey, shout out. See you, girl. I see you. Bozeman, what's up? Cindy Briggs. Sky Love. Dwight. Shay Shay is the wife and her husband. Nick from Hopeless to Hopeful. Andrew from Andrew's Recovery Process. Misty's here. Lisa's here. Hey. Julie's here. What's up, Julie? All right. I see all y'all here. Crazy Legs. What's up, Crazy Legs? Nicole, I see you, Nicole. All right. Gosh, there's a bunch of you guys here tonight. That's awesome. We had an awesome CG. What's up, CG? We had an awesome live stream last night with Dr. B. Y'all showed up and showed out last night. I was so happy to see you guys here. Has anybody seen Nick's friend Rob? Where's Rob been at? Anybody know? The other Rob. Hey, Mama. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm so excited to have all you guys here. Y'all know I'm just thankful, grateful, and blessed that y'all come hang out with me on Fridays, on every night. I'm happy to have you guys here, for real. Same o. How you doing? I'm doing. So, okay, that's what we got planned for tomorrow. So I want you guys to all mark it on your calendars. Patrons and members, 4:45 p.m., be here or be square. The way you will know that I'm going live is I will link it in our chats and I will link it in the community tab. So if you don't come, then you don't have a chance to win the moolah. So you better be here, 4:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's what's going down. Then after trivia, we're going to the Mara meeting together.
$100,000.
Let me get the Mara link too. I want you guys to come to the Mara meeting with us tomorrow. Hold on. My son is over here doing flips and stuff. Nancy, I do Patreon because I can chat with you. I upload videos in Patreon. So let me get the link for you because you get extra content in there. So, I mean, they're about the same, but I upload videos inside Patreon. So you have that extra stuff in there too. And there's a whole bunch of videos from when I first started my Patreon. It's been up for a year now. So here's the link. I just dropped the link, you guys, to Mara. Okay. And then here's the Patreon link if you want to join. The lowest tier is $2. So I'm not breaking the bank. Okay. I'm not breaking the bank. The Mara meeting is going to be a Zoom meeting. CG says hi, Nate. He says, tell little man we said hey. So you want to say hey? Come on, they know you do.
What? This is the only thing that I do.
It just depends on like how active you want to be. If you don't mind just having a chat to hang out with and getting the videos that we do here on my channel and then live streams, then you sign up for a membership. If you want the content that's going on in Patreon and the woman's Patreon chat, or the woman's and men's Patreon chat, and then like just the extra support, then you sign up for Patreon. And just how involved do you want to get? You know what I mean? But they're both really fun, and it doesn't matter which one you join. I'm doing the competition with both, so it's going to be like all of you guys against each other for $50, and 2 of you will win 50 bones. Y'all, $50, $100 is not. It's a lot of money for me. So, you know, I wanted to do this because you guys do so much for me, and y'all support me, and I really, really appreciate it. It means more to me than y'all ever know. The fact that you guys believe in me, the fact that you guys click on my videos and watch my channel, like, it means so much to me. It literally, y'all help me stay sober every single day, and I'm just so grateful for y'all. And so I'll never be able to repay you guys for how much you guys have helped me. So I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
Mom, can you just
I
show
was
them-
thinking about it the other
I
day.
have to show them something. Mom, can I show them something?
Okay, Nancy, that's a good idea. Thank you for that.
Can I show them something that I really want to show them?
Yes, baby, you can show them. Hey, Kenneth, what's up, bub?
What will happen to you guys?
Go ahead. Oh, the truck ran over. Help me. Hey, Kenneth, how are you doing, bud? Is there anything anybody wants to talk about before we leave? Does anybody want to come up and share before we go? Let me get the link for y'all real fast. Hold on. Sky, do you want to come up and share before we go? Hold on. Oh. Of course, this stupid thing's going to give me hell. Hey, Nate, settle down, Bubba. I love you, okay? I had the best Chinese food today, y'all. Probably not the most healthy thing, but it was good. Then, you guys, I got a big surprise for y'all on Monday. I'm going to be recording a TV show with some people. I can't say who, but I cannot wait. I know, I do have myself a handful. Here's the link, you guys. If you want to come up and share before we go, here's the link. I just dropped it in the comments. So anybody that needs, hey, Bethany, what's up, girl? How have you been doing, sweetheart? Hey, David, what's up? I'm so glad you made it. Hey, Nate. Freya says, Nate, you are a star. And she put stars all in the chat. He said, cool.
I need to go get my.
I leave for work at 4:30 in the morning. I listen to your lives through my Bluetooth as I'm driving. Hey, Julie. That's what's up. I love podcasts. So I do the same thing, girl. I listen to other people. So, you know what I've been doing? I've been listening to these 2 girls on a podcast, and it's they're two alcoholics, and I'll link it in the comment section of this. Let me go get it. It's a good podcast though. And then I also listen to my friend. Her name is hey, Bethany. Okay, girl. You want me to text you? Yes, text me, Bethany. I hope you're okay, girl. And anybody want to come up before I go bye-bye? Going once. Going twice. Sold to the nearest. Bam, bam. What are you doing over there, Spanky? COVID on every channel, and these kids got me, so I haven't shaved in 3 days. It's okay, Daniel. I know. I know what you mean, man. Look at me. I've been doing good to put on a little bit of makeup and some lip gloss. I'm so proud of everybody. Okay, so everybody's doing good. I take it. One more thing, because I'm fixing to hang up. Come show them.
No, it's over here. It's over here.
Oh, he jumped off. Okay, another thing before we go, you guys. I have started to realize how shitty quality this let me see something. Cam and mic settings. Let me see if this improves it at all. High definition. Hold on, guys. Is that the highest definition it can go? Oh, so bad. Okay. Oh, Mama, I see you, girl. Girl.
Hey guys.
What's
I
up?
had a long day today. Oh, sorry.
Tell me what happened.
So my sister-in-law came over and she's been babysitting these twin boys. They're so cute. So we've been outside most of the day, and like I had a good day and everything, and then like Kenny had a good day, and we pretty much wore out the kids. And my mom shows up at like 6:30. I'm like, oh, are you serious? I'm like, I'm tired. But she didn't stay long, thankfully.
Listen, I know the struggle, girl. You should have seen me and Nate when we went over to my mother-in-law's house yesterday, and she was driving me insane. Insane. Just nagging me. I'm like,
It was funny because my sister-in-law, she was like joking around, and she was saying like, well, I haven't heard from your mom tonight. I wonder if she's going to show up. And a couple seconds later, she's pulling in the driveway. I was like, oh, great. Thanks, Tori.
Well, you know, I just don't like it. Like, I guess I don't mind if my mom shows up because I don't see her that often because she lives in Hot Springs.
Right.
But like when me and Neil first got married, my mother-in-law used to just show up whenever she wanted to.
And that's my mom.
Thing. I cannot handle that.
She does. She'll just show up and bang on the door. I'm here.
I mailed you your tie-dye. I just mailed it, just so you know, yesterday,
Cool.
I think.
Awesome, awesome.
And then Nate, come say hi. Thank you to Melissa. This is the one who sent us the cups and the paints that you want to paint my whole house with now.
That's hilarious.
And look at this. I'm getting better and better at these tie-dyes.
That's awesome.
Look at this.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm getting better and better. Yeah.
That is too cool. I love them.
And then let me show y'all this.
That's not out.
Those are sweet looking.
Look, you
Did
can
you
go
send me
out
any of those?
with your mask in style.
That's awesome.
So
That is too cool.
today, me and Nate went to Walmart, and he would not wear the mask. You know, everybody's wearing the mask, so it's like we're supposed to do it, you know?
Right. Same here.
He's afraid to wear it. He says he can't breathe when he wears it.
Oh, yeah.
But,
so today, like, Kenny's getting his tubes in his ears on the 12th. Oh, I'm talking to everybody. Oh my gosh. But anyways, he went and had a COVID test today. They shoved that thing all the way up his nose. It felt so bad.
Ooh. What did that feel like?
I guess it hurts. Like, he cried.
Yeah. Why did they
test
him? Is it because they had to?
Yeah, because if you have surgery, I guess from here on out for a while, they make you do one.
Alexander, hush. Cayete. Sorry about that, y'all.
But yeah,
I love you, girl. Listen to me.
Yeah.
What I need you guys to know something, that Mama, she's the resident, like, she helps me with everything. She helps her and Cindy and Nikki help me with everything. They help me keep track of everybody. They help me stay on the right path. They text me and check on me. Like, they worry about me all the time. So I couldn't do it without Cindy, Mama, and Nikki. Y'all have been helping me so much lately. So I really, really appreciate it. And I just want y'all to know that I appreciate you guys. Like, I appreciate y'all. Y'all help me. Y'all really, really help me so much. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And we hope Kenny's okay. We hope his tubes in his ears go smoothly. I know when Nate got his tubes, it was just boop, and he was over and done with, and he was great.
Mhm.
And then you know what, girl? It's going to open his ears. He'll be able to hear, and then he might start talking.
Right, and that's what the hope it like maybe that's what the problem is all along. I don't know. So he's a smart little cookie. He knows what he's doing, and all that. And I mean, him having autism doesn't help any. But like, maybe this is the problem all along. I don't know. Time will tell. But so and like he keeps getting ear infections, and like that's like was my high priority. Like I don't want him to always get like having ear infections and like getting sick all the time like that. And like so I did something about it, and like it's gonna be really like quickly, and things are coming along, and I gotta call today's Friday, Thursday. I think it was yesterday. They're like, hey, we can set up everything, and then they're like, so like I get to have him on the 12th, and then like today I went and got his COVID test, and then like they'll give me a call for more information later.
Good. Well, I'm telling you, Nate couldn't hear, and so that's why he wasn't talking. So
gotcha.
Watch out now, because his ears are going to open, and then he's never going to stop talking. Just wait. You're going to be in the same boat I'm in right now.
Right. I hope so. I mean, it's a hopeful process, and hopefully things will start rolling around, and like in a couple weeks too, I'm gonna get his talker, like his AAC machine that I have, that's coming here in about 2 to 3 weeks. As soon as they process everything, they'll send me like the final one. And that little machine is expensive, but he's worth it.
Yeah. Well, girl, I love you. I'm proud of you, and you just keep on hanging in there. If you need anything, just call me, okay?
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, girl. I'll talk to you later.
All right, love you.
Love you too, baby.
All right, bye, guys.
Hey, I always appreciate it when Mama comes up and shares. Hold on. Paco wants to say something to y'all. Paco wants to say hi, guys. Hi. Mwah. Mwah. I love you. I love you. Mommy. Mwah. Yeah, baby. Okay. Hiya. Go potty. I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to get off here so that way I can tend to this boy. If y'all need anything, y'all know how to get a hold of me.
Get a hold of Big Joe.
Freya, if you need me, text me. Axel, if you need me, text me.
Mom, show them
if any of you guys need me, text me. No. But you two, if you need me, text me. What's up, Baba?
Get a hold of Big Joe. Big Joe.
That was awesome. He just dabbed and jumped off the step.
Daddy is 19 poop.
Oh, Instagram is real_talk_recovery. Same as my YouTube channel. Let me show y'all. Here you go. Just real_talk_recovery. If any of you guys want us to tell your story, just send me a text or on the Real Talk Recovery phone line right there on the screen, or DM me on Instagram, okay? And Nate, you got a whole fan base over here. They're all cheering you on.
Really?
Yep.
Do they like me more than you?
They like you more than me.
Really?
Really?
Because I can do this with your car.
Why don't you say? Why don't you
I
say?
can land it. Yeah.
Why don't you say hasta la vista?
What? I don't
Say
know.
bye, guys.
I don't know how.
Thanks for subscribing.
Bye, guys.
Stay sober.
Bye, guys.
Tell them.
Stay
Stay sober.
sober.
See you guys tomorrow, 4:45 p.m. Trivia. Be there or be
Shoot
square.
yourself with a BB gun too.
I'm not shooting myself with a BB gun, Nate. Lord help me.